Okay, what are we doing today? Well, we're going to attempt to put a Falcon together. See if we can't get the doors on it for sure, get the steering column bolted back up in place, get the fenders on. It's a bit to do. It takes a little longer today because as you can see everything's painted. All the edges are painted, so it's not like this you're just fitting a door where it's in primer. You got to be careful not to scratch the paint. So I'm going to attempt to start assembling this car. And while I'm doing that, Sean's working away over there on the 1991 Dodge pickup. Alright, well, I'm going to go find some parts and pieces and get the ball rolling. Okay, well, here's our first door on. She's dusty. Everything's dusty because, well, I'm dusty. And here we go. We'll show you it closing. Look at that. Isn't that nice? Look at the body line. Look at the nice gap. Beautiful. So what you do when you put doors on is always leave the striker off. Get your door lined up first. Get it on there. First thing you want to make sure of. Isn't that nice? First thing you want to make sure of your door edge should always line up with the edge of your rocker. So the first thing you're going to do is line your hinges up so the door is in line with that. And the second thing you're going to do is, that's usually these hinges here, they're going to move backwards or forward. Then the hinges on the door are going to allow the door to move in or out. Right? And I kind of level it off so it's like even with the rocker, or sometimes just a little bit out from the rocker. And away you go. Then you do your striker next. So I don't know, I think next I'm going to attempt to put the fender on. Alright, we got the other door on. Looking good. Body line lines up nice. Nice gap down the door. It opens nice. Get my finger in here. Ah, shit, it's hard with the camera in your hand. Oh my god. Oh, come on. Oh, it opens nice, I said. Hang on. Yeah, that opened real nice, didn't it? Anyway, so it opens nice. There we go. And it goes to close. You can see. You just want to, when you close the door, you want to hear that. Listen carefully. You want to hear that click, click. Lines up nice there. Again, nice line across the bottom. It's in line with the front of the rocker. Very good. So the doors took a little wee bit longer than I was expecting to put on, even though I've had them on 3 fucking times now since we've been working on this car. They just took a little longer, but that's the last time. They do not come off anymore. They stay on for good. So what I'm going to go on to next is I'm going to go on to getting the steering column mounted up, something different. Then I'll deal with the fenders. So get the steering column all hooked up and away we go. Alright, I got the steering column all mounted up in there, where it should be. So that's good. Not wiggling around. So my next step is, I forgot that I had to texture spray the back side of these fenders. So I've got those all texture sprayed. I'm letting them dry up for a good couple hours. So I can't put them right on at the moment. But what I can do is, Jeff, he brought me out some mirrors for the car. So what I can do is set the vent window in and see where the mirrors are going to go and drill and mount the mirrors on the car. Well, not mount them, but figure out where they should go. And then that should just take not too long, and then once that's done, then I can probably, well, that one fender might be dry by now because I sprayed them first thing this morning. They've been sitting, so then I can start putting fenders on it. And like I said, the hood and the trunk lid aren't going on. They've been fitted several times. They're fine. We leave them off when we paint. So anyway, we'll get that figured out, get the fenders on. Once the fenders are on, I got to drill some holes for some chrome on the fenders too. And then that's it. I'm going to push this bad boy back in that little hole back there, and it's just a matter of getting her into that shop right there one of these days and start blocking her for paint. You can see we've already got the doors 400-ish Sean rates. So I'm assuming he still has to go over it a little bit with 400, and then he'll run over it with 600 and doors are done. The rest of the car, obviously you can see our guide code on it. We still have to finish that off. Alright, so here we go. I looked at a couple pictures online. The nice thing is Jeff said, you know what, Rick, you do what you think is going to look good for the car. So I did look at some pictures. Some people have the mirrors way back here. Ugh. Doesn't look good. So I kind of went like Jeff had suggested. He wanted to kind of go on an angle because the mirror's angle. So I kind of went with that angle and kept that pretty much in line with it. Came down a bit. Enough where he can pop his vent window. Like, look how far he can open his vent window. Like, he can open his vent window like that bloody far without hitting the mirror. So I just lightly put the screws in, as you can see down here. I didn't, I don't know if you can see the screw down in there. I didn't put them all the way in because, as you know, these mirrors are only held on with screws that you're drilling a hole through the door through. So the more you take it on and off, the more you wear that metal out in the door. So I just put it lightly in there and held it there. So that's it. Now what I'm going to do is take the mirror off, measure up the holes, and do exactly the same on the other side. And there we go. Pair of mirrors done and ready. And then we'll go on to putting the fender on, let's hope. Okay, we got the fender on. Body lines are lining up, as you can see, on the top and the bottom. Nice gap. Door doesn't hit when you open it. Looking good. And the holes are lining up. So we will move on now to this side of the car. Oh, what do you know? There's my screwdriver I was looking for like 10 fucking minutes. Anyway, whatever. Let's move on to the next fender. Okay, we got the passenger side fender on. It's looking good. So the next step, and I held the valance up there to make sure the holes lined up with that, but that stays off because you can paint it off the car. So the next step, as you can see here, is the holes are not here for the trim, like in the door. The holes aren't here on the fender. And then there's some badging, like a little Falcon sign that goes here. And he's given me free rein to kind of put it where I want to put it, where I think it looks correct. So that's a nice thing. There are measurements in the book. I'll try and get as close as possible, but you know how it is. Sometimes it's not dead on, but we'll give it a try. Okay, so like I said, we got the other fender on, and here we are. I'm just mocking up the Falcon. I got some measurements out of his book and kind of looked online, and I think this looks good where it is. So that's one side done. So I got to do the next side, but also got to drill the holes for that piece of chrome. Actually, I just remembered now. Here I am filming, and I just remembered, got to drill the holes out for that piece of chrome down there. Then that side's done. So, with that being said, I'm going to say goodbye for now, because the battery just warned me on the camera that we are out of time. So hey, it's always a good time at old time, and we'll catch you next time.